Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Nerd Night panel. With me is Sci-Fi Fifth Dan. How you doing, Dan?
Pretty good. Still alive and kicking. You're not dead yet.
That's good. And we got Mikey. How you doing, Mikey?
I'm doing great, and I'm definitely not dead yet. So
Always good.
I'm here. Yes, glad to be here.
And you were saying you had a topic you wanted to start off with?
Yes, to start off the Nerd Roundtable tonight, I was perusing through articles, and I found out that there was a couple. Their last name is Schultz, but when I accidentally read it, it sounded like it was Schitz. I was like, whoops. No, it's Schultz. A Mr. and Mrs. Schultz out of Iowa had just found out that their jobs were terminated. They were laid off on the same day, a married couple. And of course, now they're suffering because they don't, even though they got their severance packages, which, that doesn't mean much. But, because I've seen, friends and cousins who've gone through severance packages, and it's not a good thing. But they always do have a backup plan in place. However, I don't know. I don't think the Schultz did. So I was reading through their article, and so now they don't know what they're going to do with their car payments or their mortgage or anything else that's on the line after everything runs out. And they still do have benefits, but of course that doesn't last long either. So
Yeah.
it's really terrible.
Months.
Hey, how's it going, Gorilla?
Hey, girl.
It's going all right. I just seen the funniest video.
Hey,
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
All right. Here's a little tip for people who are going fishing. If you're going fishing there, don't use the butt end of a loaded rifle to spec a fish. Because who knows? The fish might retaliate. You might become a eunuch. He became a eunuch.
So
right in the nuts.
The fish can be charged with assault with a deadly weapon.
You mean assault with a fishing weapon?
Well, I seriously think that we should really have a statute that they're called where you can arrest people for called "You're a fucking dumbass." Charge them with "You're a fucking dumbass."
I wonder.
Well, Gorilla. Well, would you be part of that category then?
What do you mean?
I don't think he's been shot by a fish.
Yeah.
I once read a city folk shot cow, the deer.
Oh.
And the cop says that a moo is not a deer.
A moo is not a deer?
If it moves, it's not a deer.
Oh, if it moves, it's not a deer. Okay.
You want to talk about them?
Yeah.
I always get the kick out of these people that'll come up there and they'll towel snap like a horse or something right in the nuts there. Then they're surprised when the horse kicks them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
don't stand behind the damn horse.
In the nuts.
What? What was that, Germ?
You towel snap anybody in the nuts, they're gonna kick you. At the very least. If the horse could get a gun, I'm sure he would do the same thing as the fish.
Yeah, that's just common sense, right?
Well, people are stupid.
Yeah. Apparently they're getting dumber and dumber.
Well,
yeah.
Well, I would say they're probably not that stupid. They probably do stupid things, but they're probably not that stupid unless they really are that stupid for doing stupid things.
I can't imagine anything other than stupidity freaking letting a fish shoot you in the nuts.
It's a salty cracker clip, which I'm actually surprised he got away with putting that name on YouTube. Oh, I guess I killed the conversation.
Yeah. Well, yeah, fish committing, shooting a guy in the nuts, that tends to derail people.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're still trying to process it. That's why.
Oh,
Well, that was I was gonna be my next question.
hey, Pickles.
Hey, LDG.
Hey, Pickles, say
LDG.
LDG.
Hey, excuse me. I'm sorry. Hey guys, how's it going, everybody? Oh,
You okay?
sorry.
Not
This
too
way.
bad.
Something happened to you there.
Oh,
No, my air went down the wrong tube there, trying to say hello.
shoot.
Sorry.
Oh, damn it. Sorry. Oh.
Yeah,
that's not good.
I was gonna make another comment, but it's not my stream.
Yeah,
yeah.
well, LDG certainly has a frog in its throat.
Sure, it's a frog.
It's been a rough day, man. Just keeping busy. I wanted to at least swing by for a minute or two and say what's up to you guys and people in the chat. Hang out with Rizzo.
So,
Oh,
from what I hear, your room is finished.
Yeah.
So the room is finished. The room is
That's
finished. I'm loving it. But it's not finished. The room's finished, but I'm not finished with the room. I guess, is that the best way of saying it?
Probably
I'm still
is, 'cause you have
setting
to
things up,
resupply
setting
it,
things
right?
around.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're furnishing it. You're furnishing it.
Furnishing it, organizing it. Yeah.
I gotta
But the
get all
room
those
is
little
beautiful.
knickknacks
The
in the right
room,
place.
they really did a good job. What was that?
You gotta get all your little knickknacks in the right place.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know, I gotta hide. You know, I gotta hide my porn. I gotta find, best places for everything. You know what I mean? And yeah, no, I'm fine.
Hey, don't,
Um,
hey, LDG, you're like 45 there. You don't have to hide your porn no more.
45, dude. Come on, 44. Nah, yeah. Tell me about it. I don't even have any, so it's not even a problem. But I mean, the only
God.
porn I have in this house is the mirror when I come out of the shower.
I just
Oh, so it sees you and it just retracts up and turns you into a woman.
Ugh.
Hey, you can
I
do
just
that.
remember a day. I just remembered the day when there was only two major companies in play, Playboy and Hustler. I just remember that.
I'll be back.
And-
My supper's
and-
ready.
Oh, okay. And people would ask me, or my friends would ask me, so Mikey, who do you like better? I said, they provide both ample forms of male entertainment, pleasure. So why would you want me to compare one to another? That's like asking me to tell the difference between apples and tomatoes. I mean, come on.
Do you
They
mean
both
apples
have
and
their
oranges?
Apples and, well, I say apples and tomatoes because that's the thing.
They're all fruits.
That's Canadian thing.
Now they're all fruits, so I mean, you're just asking them to choose, and it's like, we all had those moments. I had a friend, who was able to break through the cable blockage and allow us to watch, the Playboy every once in a while, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's not much different from if you're actually reading the magazine. The only difference is you're just watching it on television. It's in a freaking boob tube. Who cares? I'm sure in our lifetime we've all seen women's full-fledged anatomy. So hey, whatever, films and everything else. I mean, it's not a big deal. Yeah.
And it's amazing to think both of those companies are now bankrupt.
Yeah, that is not a weird. I mean, especially Hefner. I mean, come on. I mean, the man died, but didn't you think he had a plan in place? He was going to keep the empire safe, and oh no, not
But
quite.
There's no way for it. The internet came along and he had no way to compete.
Yeah.
I know.
Hey, no, that was brilliant there. If I had the money, the person who bought it didn't have such a bad idea buying the mansion there, because he sold it for like $300 million, and the only stipulation was that he got to live there until he died, and he croaked like 6 months later. But it's like you get a nice, beautiful house, but the swimming pool, secret tunnels, and everything. And then not only that, you get the history around the house. The only thing that didn't come with it was the women.
Yeah, you can actually see the history with the black light.
I'm
If you
sure
listen
that's part
to
of
a
the
room
tour.
LPG, You know the experience. If you ever walked into a room, so even a measly hotel room, and threw on a black light, you get the fuck out of there. You're like, oh shit. No.
Hey, sometimes
No, it hurts.
sometimes it's just better not to know. Sometimes it's just better
Yeah.
not to know.
Hmm.
Because like when we went down to Kansas City, well, we were kind of limited because there's some kind of convention in town. There was one hotel we didn't even need a fucking blacklight. We weren't staying at, but they had a hell of a time getting us into another hotel. So it's like, yeah, it's better not to know.
Well,
Yeah.
it's better than getting
Better
a
to find
hotel
out.
room where you don't need a black light to see it. Those are the scary ones.
Yeah.
You
Well,
usually
it's-
know those. You pay by the hour.
Well, this is one of those there. That HR gal had no freaking thought processes. Because have I told you guys this story yet about my Kansas City trip?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Don't remember it. No.
Okay. Well, and hey Jim, but here let's put it this way. Let me ask you guys a question. You're next to you're in one of the bigger city. It's the hub for all the railroad traffic and stuff.
Right.
The hotel is right next to a major highway that goes through there. You were next to one of the major attractions, Worlds of Fun and Oceans of Fun. Fun
Nice.
there. $39 a night.
Wow.
How'd
How'd you get it for so? No, I'm just curious. How'd you get it for so cheap, Gorilla? That doesn't sound right.
Well,
Yeah.
here's put it this way. When I went in there, my door wasn't even freaking shut. Another guy said his door didn't even fucking lock. When I walked into my room, it smelled like a freaking like they just cleaned up a goddamn operating room. Another guy said he had blood on. Another guy said he had blood on his floor there. It looked like all the furniture. I could have found better looking furniture in the fucking ditch than what was at this place. And we all said, and this is all this whole hotel is that you access it from the outside. Like all the doors are on the outside of the building instead of inside and through a hall.
Shootings.
All there. And we all got together in the parking lot. And I even was standing right next to my vehicle. We all stayed really close to our vehicles there. And we were calling up HR, said we're not staying there. We weren't comfortable. Didn't feel safe and all that. They're trying to get us a different hotel, you know. But like one guy, he had his gun already fucking ready. But I was sitting there watching the people there. I seen one girl. She went to one room and to another and to another to another. And so I got my first glance of what a hooker looks like. And great, now my kids can't ask me what that is. But anyhow,
he's 10 years old. He should know.
Yeah, but we see the Cadillac with spinner tires circling and that black guy with a fucking Cheeto hat, cowboy hat, just fucking circling the fucking parking lot there. We just got
waiting for the girl to get done with the rooms.
Yeah, but I've been told.
Probably there for drug deals.
Close your ears. Anyhow, I told the supervisor at work, I was like, "God, you're gonna sell something to hooker hotel. At least you can do is pay for one." Sorry, you can take your earbuds off.
Yeah, that's pretty tragic.
Good, you don't need to know.
Yeah, having blood in a place, I guarantee you there was at least a few shootings in that area.
Well, yeah, you don't pay the lady, the pimp has to come by, and he has to have the money somehow.
Yeah.
Well, what do you expect for $39 a night next to a major highway in a big city next to a major attraction? If I would know the price of, if I would know all that, the price of the hotel and where it was located ahead of time, I would have not agreed to go.
Well, that's why they didn't tell you.
Yeah. Because 120
lady knew, they knew exactly what they were doing booking that hotel.
Yeah.
They didn't care.
Yeah. Well, what it is we bring all these foreign exchange workers from Ukraine, and that's where we house them. Well, that's a shithole place. That seems like paradise to that hotel seems like paradise to them. Like,
Yeah.
It's probably be next to that 120 at the minimum in 2014.
And let's be honest, the Ukrainian workers, they're in the market for what the girl's selling. They're overseas. They don't care.
No, they're actually targets over there.
All right. I'm going to go grab some food here. I'll be back.
Okay.
So anyway, LDG, we were earlier before you came. We were talking about a couple. I was going through some articles, and there was a couple. Their last name was Schultz, but I thought at first it looked like Schitz. But this poor couple both got laid off the same day from John Deere. The exact same day.
That's why you don't work at the same place as your spouse.
Well, I learned that early on. Yeah, I learned that early on since I've already been married twice. So, I learned that I learned before I got, B-rated because I had, my partner working at the same place as I was. I knew better. My parents knew better. They're like, no, we're not going to work at the same plant. No, two different plants.
That's why your parents should have taught you don't shit where you eat. Being involved with a coworker is one of the worst things you can ever do. No matter how it ends, when it ends, one of you is going to lose your job. And being the man, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be you.
I gotta say that if all these companies just want to max the profits and have cheap labor, they're all going to outsource to other countries. Meanwhile, actually pay native workers what they need to actually keep the native economy going and working.
Yeah. But that's why you have to use stuff like tariffs. So you can't just send all the jobs over there. You try to bring the stuff in. Okay, here's a 300% tax on it. So that stuff from Malaysia, no advantage.
Oh, don't worry, as a legitimate with the 300% tariff, they'll just the country that's coming from will just denominate their currency more to get past the tariff.
Yeah, it could be worth 0 when at some point it doesn't catch back up.
Hey, Cynthia, the tariffs there aren't based on how much your currency is worth. It's what they're selling it for in the United States, which then would be based on U.S. dollars. So if they devalue their currency, that means shit ton more of their currency they'd have to use.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't forget that
all U.S. taxes are based off of U.S. currency. Doesn't matter who they're charging.
But see, if taxes get higher, which obviously it's been happening that way, part of the reason, Sifdan, that a lot of the companies would outsource is maybe they don't want to pay taxes. A lot of them don't want to pay taxes on their, equipment and stuff. If they can get away with even, barely shoddy or something. Plus, don't forget, because they're outsourcing to Mexico, it's pesos on the dollar for their workers. They don't have to pay benefits or anything else to.
Hey, Mikey, it's hard to compete. Mikey, it's hard to compete with $5 a day labor, and all they have to do is pay the gas to ship it over.
Right.
That's why everything's in China, because of what was it, NAFTA or start with a P, Trans-Pacific Trade Partnership, the TT.
Yeah, something like that.
TTP. TTP. The Trans Trade Partnership.
Never got passed through Congress. Trump basically kicked it out. And lo and behold, Biden comes in and look what gets through. With no debate, no nothing, not even ratified.
Yeah, but you make it sound like it's just Biden's mistake. It wasn't just his mistake.
Well, I gotta say, and with all
he literally passed it with an executive order.
And I gotta say that
yeah.
with all these jobs being outsourced to other countries, and people are surprised why there's fierce competition for jobs, or there's hardly any jobs left in the economy here in the native land.
And hey, Scurvy.
How you doing, Lemon?
Hey, Lemon.
Yeah. Oh, how you like your new background?
Oh yeah, I just noticed that.
Yeah, same one as I got. That was one of the things there. I got told you got to have like some kind of background. I know you got like sci-fi.
Yeah,
That's the same one I got right now.
yeah. I always keep meaning to download some of those, but I don't know. I just never got around to it.
Yeah.
Well, I've learned. I'll tell you one thing I've learned in my experience without getting too political. But one thing I learned in my
Go ahead.
experience,
Go as much as you want.
it's three things. Every politician has three things: a hidden agenda, a political urge or desire, and they lie. So
That's it. Pretty much
That's it.
everyone know.
Everybody lies. It's just what are they lying about?
Yeah.
yeah, that's the scary part.
Everyone lies. Everyone has an agenda, and everyone has something they want that they're not willing to talk about.
Yeah, like Mr. Breast.
Yeah, or someone.
Breast. Oh,
Yeah, or
Beast.
Mr. Breast.
Mr. Beast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
Mr.
someone that has
Breast.
someone that has daddy or mommy issues don't want to talk about it in public. They want to talk about it in private.
And don't forget, they all have skeletons in the closet. Every single politician, even would-be politicians, have skeletons.
Everybody has skeletons in their closet. Everybody
Yeah,
has skeletons in their closet. Just some people are more open than others, but everybody
Yeah.
has them.
And
Yes.
some of us, they're
Some just have
actual
a hand.
skeletons.
Some have leg. Some have the whole damn skeleton.
And a heart. Some of the heart in their
Yeah. Some of them just have body parts. Yeah, like the whole freaking.
they're all
meat
over the
and
place,
all.
right? LDG containers, man. They're hidden in some freezer somewhere. All different parts of the body. Everything.
Wow. Well, I gotta say,
Okay, Dahmer.
I gotta say, this turned into a horror stream pretty damn fast. It did.
Hey, don't blame that one. Don't blame the horse part on me. I was talking about hookers.
Yeah. Gorilla's got hooker skeletons in his closet.
Yeah,
and you can't ultimately
hey.
because I started with unemployed workers before that. So you
Yeah,
can't
well-
drop
He
that on
he even names them.
Well, I gotta say that.
Hey,
I gotta say
Let's
that
go.
hookers and hoes. I gotta say that with hookers and hoes, Gorilla sure knows they sure know how to catch them, or he knows how to catch them.
hey, LDG with that there, but at least they're still free after a week.
Oh God.
After that, it's get a little iffy.
Yeah. Besides, you know, those dancers, those erotic dancers, have to pay for accessories.
Leave it to Gorilla.
silicone And
Take something disgusting and turn it up to 11. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I'm just fine with the picture I painted, and then you just took it into a whole nother category.
Oh yeah, and $5. Oh yeah, and $5 is that the Gorilla's child is now asking Gorilla, Daddy, what is a hoe?
Oh, jeez.
He already knows.
I haven't got a term.
I guarantee you he's told that boy exactly what a hoe is. And he compared it to all his mother's friends.
Well, I gotta say, a hoe is also a farm tool for the farmer to have fun with.
That too. But you teach
Okay,
the
go
second
ahead, Jim.
when you are not with your kid's mother anymore, the most responsible thing you can do is teach that kid that whores equals your mother's friends.
I I do
That-
have a. Oh yeah.
Or
sorry.
They
Cougars.
can't get more angry at you than they already are.
Yeah, or Cougars.
I do have a genuine question for the Stargate fans on this panel. I mean, I think Germ is a Stargate fan, even though it's probably been a few years since he last seen Stargate, hasn't it?
A couple of years, yeah.
Because I was thinking of doing a Stargate ships versus a video for one of my YouTube uploads. But I want your opinion. See here, the Ori ship versus a Wraith Hive ship. Do you think the Ori ship will win that battle easily, or do you think the Wraith Hive ship will put up a good fight?
It put up a little bit of a fight, but the Ori ships are just way too overpowered.
Are you
Now, if
also
you gave
thinking?
the ZPM powered Hive ship with the thicker hull and the stronger weapons, that one could stand up against the Ori ship.
Yeah, the thing about the Ori ships is their main weapon is too overpowered, and their shields are virtually impenetrable unless you're the Tauri and you have a specialized ship that's a ZPM to power their shields and their advanced beam weapons to finally give them equal footing with their Ori, basically overcoming the Ori advantage.
Yeah.
And like Resolute German, like, you may hate seasons 9 and 10 of Stargate, but when you defeated all the enemies of the powerful enemies throughout the series, then what's left? You either cancel the series or you try to develop new villains more uber powerful to give the heroes a challenge more, or you try to go more the melodramatic political angle, which Stargate has always been political to a certain extent, but really double down on that stuff. And seasons 9 and 10, they decided to do an uber villain with the Ori and a somewhat inconsistent antagonist faction called the Lucian Alliance.
Yeah. Personally, I would have canceled the series, but that whole X-Files thing just hanging there, I know why they had to go for it. It was insulting to have the X-Files technically be the longest running sci-fi show.
So how many total series again have there been and spin-offs of the Stargate franchise? I know of SG-1, Atlantis. I think there was something else called, it started with a W. I think that was the other one.
They had Universe.
Okay.
That's as far as the movies go, or the television shows go.
Well, there's also Stargate Oranges that came out, Stargate Oranges that came out a few years ago. And for what the fans say, that was actually a pretty good.
How you doing, Teague?
I'm good. Hi guys. Check out the private chat, Germ.
And we say welcome to you, Teague, who's trying to say it's Star Trek proper.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool. Awesome. You know now. Right? Everyone knows now. All right, cool. I'm going to give it to him now. So yes, I will say.
I wouldn't count Origins as a television show. That's more like a web special.
It's a web series. Resolute. Yeah, I wouldn't include it either.
Well, there's also another Stargate series, which you probably know which one I'm thinking about. It's a cartoon series that was
Infinity.
Well, it's not canon now because fans are pretty divided on that. They either
it came out.
Not canon.
It ran before Atlantis was even a thing.
Right.
So the second they came out with that, it was pretty much a no-go.
I gotta say
and Snail, welcome.
Hey, Snail.
Hey there.
Hey, Snail Messiah.
Zemois. How are you all doing?
So, Snail, are you a Stargate fan or are you more of a Star Trek fan?
All of it.
Yeah, because
all of it.
Because me, Resolute, Germ, and Mikey are talking about Stargate, and if you want to join in the conversation, that's fine. The original question I put up for the panel was, who do you think will win in this a ship scenario? Ori mothership with its overpowered beam weapons and shields, or the Wraith house ship with powerful plasma beams with a regenerative hull?
All right. if
Yeah.
they know how to work their weapons, so they can change the modulation of the beam, right? Like you do with the Borg. So if the Ori can do that, plus they have the capacity to influence minds and know what people are thinking and going through everything. So I think they would win in
But
the
aren't the
short.
Goa'uld, yeah, but aren't the Goa'uld snail actually stronger than the Ori?
No.
No.
No. The Ori are basically they're what the Goa'uld were meant to be in the series, but the writers, I'm not sure what the writers were trying to say with the Goa'uld, but the Ori were the Goa'uld that they wanted, and they did it in the latter half of seasons 9 and 10.
They had to basically depower them to make it a series.
Yeah, the Ori are in a halfway house between the earthly plane and the completely ascended beings.
Yes.
So they have what appears to be divine powers, right?
Somewhat, yeah, and Stargate fans are pretty divided on the last seasons of 9 and 10 of Stargate, but I actually like the Ori as villains because I mean I grew up with a very religious father figure that was a hypocrite, and I like the Ori as villains because they're all hypocrites. They are.
Yeah. And
they show their true colors.
Yeah, and Sir Limit Pie mentions an interesting series that might have maybe done better if people were more attuned to it. And shortly Stargate doing the nasty. Okay, all right, Lemon. Well, that might have sold some. You never know.
But we're not talking shows that were on the hub.
I'm really glad that I got to say, it's a weird thing to say, but if you think about it, it's true. I'm really glad that I'm a little older and life was going on, so I didn't have time for Stargate. I barely squeezed in Deep Space Nine. So there's a bunch of Star Trek still I haven't seen, and most of Stargate I hear people really like it. I'm mid on the Roland Emmerich movie. I like Roland Emmerich movies, but there are better Roland Emmerich movies than that one.
Yeah, well, MLT, when people are saying that they're Stargate fans, they probably mainly think about the TV shows or series that they're talking about.
Absolutely. Roland Emmerich, I don't think had much to do creatively with Stargate. I think he was simply a director, and he showed an aptitude for sci-fi, and then they threw him, ID4, obviously.
Yeah, and Lemon, I would agree with you that Stargate, season 9 was, it was, season 10, the last season was okay, but the 9th season, the showrunners basically just adrift on the 9th season, really, mainly, they were.
I think, honestly, they should have stopped at season 8. That would have been a nice finale if they'd stopped at the end of season 8.
That was the original plan.
Yeah, I know. And that's what they should have done.
Well, that or start a new show, which the showrunner actually wanted to do, but they sort of merged the two ideas together. Seasons 9 and 10 were supposed to be a new show called Stargate Command. Basically, not just SG-1, but a new show called Stargate Command, which took place of the humans of Earth and all.
Is like a 20-year time I believe they were planning.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the original plan, and that's why I stopped watching after season 8. So that was,
Yeah.
I thought there wasn't much further they could go. It was just the whole concept of, now they're going to be splitting off, doing other things, and you're like, okay, well, season 8 is fine. That ends it for you then. Then you move on to the Atlantis, or you move on to the universe, or anything else after that. So,
Yeah,
and I give them an A.
Yeah,
I give them an A.
Go for it, Tig.
I give them an A plus. Thank you. I give them an A plus for having a Star Trek-like idea where they were pioneering, pretty optimistic, and more or less good guys that you could root for, good team that you could feel good about, and they basically it's just somebody must have either read the script or had the same idea. Gene Roddenberry was toying with the idea that everyone would have long-range transporters and we would just have a base, not a ship, for the next generation. And that ultimately was scrapped, thank God, because having a ship is intrinsically Star Trek. But these people took an idea that is not ripped off from Star Trek, but is still remarkably Star Trek-like when I watch it. Without a ship, their transporter is like a transporter TARDIS. It's just enough to get them to do whatever. It's like, this planet ain't working out. We just change the combination on the Stargate. We go somewhere else. This boring place, we'll go somewhere more interesting. This place is cool. We'll go here for like 2 straight years.
Yeah, well, I gotta say that, fans, I would say that most people here, they don't like the last season of Stargate, but the reason why I found the last season of Stargate okay-ish, because it had Star Trek-ish, or a lot of ship battles in it, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan or sci-fi fan, action fan, so you probably can know why I do like those scenes in those later show seasons. In other words, plus of the introduction of a new ship, the BC-304 class, which was introduced either season 8 or season 9 when they officially introduced that class. I think it was.
Yeah, I think that Teague and I both agreed, though, also that the Stargate, and then of course with the Guardian of Forever, looking very similar. But in this case, where the Stargates would take you to different planets on different types of universes, the Guardian of Forever unfortunately turned into a human being named Carl and moved you to other places.
That never
happened. In the original series,
that never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff that they tried to show you the last couple of years, that was just a fever dream from some guy taking some bad cocaine.
Oh, okay. Some guy taking lithium. Okay.
My people have looked very deeply into this one, and we've discovered what happened. It was a Cardassian pornographic pleasure program, basic, but in the same way perverse. It started to inculcate every other system because it was bought on the black market, corrupt, and of course, it's Quark's fault for allowing them to install it. Odo, take him away.
Oh yeah, so Lemon says it's a rumor that I have a Stargate in my apartment. That's what we really hear when he says his fire is going on. No, nobody's transporting into this apartment. Not here. Not yet. But Suzanne and I have always wanted to build a transporter of our own. Yeah, that's but we don't have the technology right now. We're getting there though. I mean, we could figure it out. All of us.
You don't want a transporter.
I know.
You want a replicator.
Yeah.
Or a
mechanical arm.
You don't want to be
no replicator, T? Yeah.
If I had a replicator, I would have it dispensing non-addictive crack all day long. Are you out of your mind?
No, or
better yet,
you want a cellular regenerator. That way you live forever.
I would just have the replicator make me. I'd just have the replicator make me like a youth potion.
All I want from the replicator is it makes me ice cream that doesn't make me more fat.
and I'll make non-alcoholic alcohol
all day.
They can do anything.
Yeah,
ice cream and cake.
The ice cream never melts, Snail. Never melts.
I feel horrible saying this, so I have to say it the right way, so that no one gets angry. Okay, ready? Filthy fucking loudmouth hippies, Ben and Jerry suck, but wow, they make some good ice cream.
Hey, give it up, man! They came up with one called Cherry Garcia. You never know what they put in there.
It's vanilla with cherry, and it's my favorite. But yes,
no, it is good. I like it.
That's their best. New York Super Fudge Chunk will give you a heart attack. I had to stop.
Well, man, Stargate Destination. Some guy's apartment in Canada. Yeah, a no name. Yeah, sure.
Well, from what I hear across the web, the creator of the Acolyte show, Star Wars, was desperately trying to get a season 2. Then, from what I hear, they officially announced that there's not going to be a season 2, which everyone already knew already. But
they made that admission. Are you kidding me? Really?
Really?
They made that admission. I mean, yeah. I might have missed it. I mean, I spent 20 straight hours editing yesterday. It was fucked up. But I didn't know that. I didn't know they made that admission. Usually, what the punk move is, you renew the show in the middle of the controversy for season 2, but then we never see it again. That's usually what happens. So I was expecting
so poorly that they didn't bother with that.
You know what it is? There's an earnings call, and we've now found out what's going on with Disney is they have a lot of earnings calls, and like what they do is like it's kind of like a 3-card Monty game, you know. Like here's like, you know, which card, follow the card, pick the winning card. It's like, we got this movie, we announced like 5 movies. Like they have announced like Rangers of the New Republic like 3 times. Right, so we announced like 5 movies, right? The Ray movie was announced again, right? That's the second time they've announced it, to just keep announcing it every year. You know, that there's going to be a D23 in a couple of weeks. We will re-announce all these movies, and then we'll do things like, we had shows that were always a horrible idea that maybe never should have been made, and like, so like, after we got everyone all excited when WandaVision was going good, we're like, we have a spinoff called Agatha, and they're like, "Woo, sounds great!" And now, like, what they're going to do at the next at the last earnings call was they put Agatha on her knees in front of Bob Iger and fucking capped her, and they're just like, there'll be no Agatha show, and therefore, you know, there'll be no Agatha show, therefore there'll be no loss of money, and that kind of stops the bleeding.
Yeah, and it
then
seems
they bring back the Agatha show, though.
Yeah, and
they might re-announce it like 2 years from now, saying time is ready, but like that would mean that every single show on Disney involves witches intimately. I'm sorry, Sith.
Yeah, and I gotta say that seems like the Disney company is still in 2 things. They're sacrificing the Star Wars franchise to try to save the MCU universe now.
I think the MCU was probably more savable and had made money, whereas Star Wars, it's like, this will be our fucking ESG write-off for all time. It's just like a woke fucking nightmare where everything will have like sustainability fucking labels on it and shit. And it's like, that terrible blue milk you're drinking is awful. The cows, though, they had a great life. Better than yours.
And Agatha, all along, is still scheduled to debut September 18th.
I'm surprised you didn't call that off. I suppose it's made, but like, then there's other things, like perhaps what they said was, we'll dump Agatha all at once. You know what I mean? Like, there's other damage control moves that happen at these earnings calls. Like, Netflix is just and Amazon have just turned around and dumped things on us all at once, twice, with the J.J. Abrams Batman, which is what I made an upload about it. It really fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's both a timepiece and mostly a PC shit show. From what I hear, they try to shove PC shit in the 1940s.
It's supposed to be 1930s. I got that finally because I thought he was being smart. I'm like, no, this is the classic kind of timelessness that Tim Burton did so well. So I like it. It could be 1930, it could be 1961, but it's no later or earlier. I like this sweet spot for Batman, but then they nail it down to 1930, which turns their whole social structure into question. But okay, it's a different 1930. While you're getting used to that, like, the Gotham police are baffled by being shelled from the water of their own city within sight of land from a party boat. From a party boat where the Penguin is a female frustrated nightclub singer who shells the city all night, and the police and Batman can't fucking figure it out. She does it in front of the people on the boat. So Gotham, like, you know, they got the hero they deserved in this stupid ass woke Batman. He's barely in any of the episodes. It's such a woke nightmare. Montoya is gigantic. Germ, I'd like you to join me for a watch party of one of those, just so you can scoff at it. The power of your scoff. You should see
pictures.
How they massacred her.
Yeah, it's
they made
30s, overweight, Latino, and gay.
Yeah, I had this. Everyone's gay.
She wouldn't be on the force. She would have been freaking railroaded out of town.
And we need to kill off Harley Quinn. It's time to kill off Harley Quinn. make it an event. Death of Harley Quinn. It's not working out. It's not working out. That Harley Quinn fucking woke disaster. They fucking nerfed her looks. They gave her a dumpy ass, tiny boobs, a fucking like a weird belly. She's just out of shape and has like the body they imposed on the actress who played Rose Tico, who doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
If you see her at the premiere, she's normal looking.
And don't even get me started. I'll tell you, don't even get me started on what they did to Catwoman. They basically emasculated her. That is not Catwoman.
Wait, how do you emasculate a
What?
female?
Yeah. I mean, they feminized her? Or?
Yeah. I just hate what they did to her. That's, I mean, come on. Michelle Pfeiffer is Catwoman. I don't care who says it. She is Catwoman in the movie. And for me, the series, it was definitely Eartha Kitt. That's it.
All right,
Those were my ladies. Yeah.
Here was the feedback I got from the people who watched it. And that was a pretty successful fucking watch party. I was surprised there was so much interest in it, but like crazy interest. But no, you know what? Let's be honest here for a minute. People told me that I was wrong to have think that she should be blonde and that she should have a catsuit, because I was told that that's the original version of her outfit, and that actually it could have been even worse. So she was pretty and everything like that, but like Bruce Wayne's an idiot. She's an idiot. She goes up to Bruce Wayne and tells him she's going to steal from him, and he's like, I guess nothing will go missing while you're around here. And she's like, yeah, I'm a thief. And then she has like a Latina maid who works for her, but they gave her a German name, so that makes it okay. And she works for free. None of it makes sense. Like, she had a former socialite.
She's supposed to be a socialite that she doesn't have a maid or anything. She has an assistant.
All right, they changed that to a fucking maid. She wore a traditional maid outfit, and she was a Consuela type, but her name was Greta, which I guess made it okay. But she had a fucking Latino accent, and she was just like, complaining about not getting paid for years. It was really stupid.
Tell me, Emiltig, is that a reference to the climate activists? Probably too. Probably is.
It was as woke as fuck. Anything they could do. I mean, Batman was a loser in this. He was very lucky to come out on top against body positivity Penguin. Oh, by the way, this Batman just kills people. So, as I suspected he would. Style, the rule of cool dictates all that JJ does. So when Batman gets attacked, he's holding his own in a fist fight. There's only one opponent. Now, Penguin is firing on the city. Not cool, but whatever, right? Like, people are aware of this, right? They're taking precautions. The guy attacks him. It's not down to the wire for him to stop the Penguin from, like, say, blowing up the whole city. Like, she's been firing for a while. He's shown that his intention is to try to non-lethally stop her. But then for no reason, the rule of cool, he takes a run at him, and Batman makes a fatal move on the guy. Just absolutely fatal. And then they just gloss over it and move on. But it's the cartoon illustrators and it's the cartoon people and the animators who they could get from the original 90s thing. So it looks kind of the same. And with the all action scenes compressed down to the beginning, that opening minute, you'd be forgiven for thinking it's a good show. But that opening minute, which is basically the same as the trailer, is every piece of action from the show. It's I don't know why in a cartoon where you could do anything, they chose to also just still do feelings in hallways, but that's Batman for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd even seen that Abrams. Okay, I saw his name there. I said, "Oh, great! So here's another franchise he's going to destroy, albeit it's animated and not live."
Well, here's the thing. Now there's no hope for the Batman with Robert Pattinson. All of us knew it, but like, this should be like 2 shots to the dome for it, because if I got this right, I think it was Culture Casino said it was picked up off like DC's scrap heap. Like, people were like they were having a tough time getting someone to want to release it, and so this thing coming out at all is just a fluke. It was deemed not good enough. There's never going to be any more of it. No one wants J.J. Abrams near that shit. He failed his little test with Batman. And the decision was that it didn't damage Batman enough to pull it back. But we have seen several things pulled back out of fear of damaging Batman. And there was a tie-in to Batgirl. And Batgirl's kind of a little more of a part of this than he is.
I gotta say that J.J. Abrams is, or what people call him now, Jar Jar Abrams, as a joke. His reputation in Hollywood's probably sky high, but his reputation with the fans and all the fandoms in the world, it's probably dog shit right now, probably with the fandoms he ruined.
Yeah. And here's another part about that I really was disappointed in, and that was the fact that the relationship between Batman and Alfred is pretty much non-existent, and Alfred Pennyworth is.
What do you
not supposed
mean?
to be a
Hey, hold
Batman.
on. Batman calls him Pennyworth by his last name.
I know.
Their relationship is that Batman yells and screams at fucking Alfred as a child and is a fucking psychopath that needed to be taken to a fucking shrink for real. That fucking episode with young Batman was the worst of the episodes, and it's the only one that's mostly about Batman.
That is a fundamental misunderstanding of the different characters. Now, if that was Damian is a sociopath. He calls Alfred Pennyworth all the time. He has damn near zero respect for him until much farther down the timeline.
Yeah, but
Bruce Wayne was just like Damian.
Yeah,
they for some reason they thought that's how kids act in the Batman universe. No, that is one specific kid was raised by a freaking demon.
Batman
he was raised by wolves.
No, he was raised by the demon.
Oh, the demon. Okay.
Yeah, Ra's al Ghul, yes. Ra's al Ghul.
Oh yeah, Ra's al Ghul. Right. Yeah, and here's the other thing too. Okay, definitely not racist, but when you see Harvey Dent being an African American attorney who actually treats Alfred with even a modicum of respect over what Bruce does, I'm like, holy fuck, what's going on here?
I do believe he's supposed to be white.
He's white.
Well, I thought he was an African American guy.
White.
That's
he's white, and he's almost impossible to tell apart from Bruce Wayne. It's only the voice characterization, and you have to look a little hard because he smirks. Everybody looks exactly like all white people look exactly like Slater from Archer.
Who's his attorney? The guy that was sitting on a couch. I saw a scene from it where it's an African American guy. Must be Bruce Wayne's attorney that's sitting there on the couch talking.
So they've recontextualized Lucius Fox into his attorney.
Lucius Fox, that's it. Okay.
And as I was trying to say to Jeremy before, I think one of the reasons why he's such a douchebag to Alfred is they couldn't have a male parental figure succeed, or be good, or be kind. Well, what does Alfred do? He just kind of goes into a shell and lets Bruce scream about how he's going to delete, actively go and delete every single criminal, and that the world will be a better place. He's talking like Nightmare Batman.
Yeah. That doesn't make any sense. They fundamentally do not understand Batman's motivations as a character. If that's
we open up with Batman offering Montoya cash.
What's up with that?
I'll tell you. The show episode 1. The show episode 1 opens up with Batman in custody, or not in custody, but at least I guess he's been told he has to get down to the precinct, and he's explaining himself to Montoya. And their opening conversation is something close to, I've already told you everything I know, detective. Perhaps a donation to the policeman's ball, or I could perhaps give the money directly to you, Detective Montoya. And she's like, Mr. Wayne, unlike one of the floozies you have in your arm, I'm not for sale. And it's like, whoa, we just fucking smacked down Bruce Wayne. It's 1 minute in. It's 1 minute in. So that's, and by the way, the other saboteur, like I said, is Matt Reeves. He is now a terrible storyteller.
He was always a terrible storyteller.
Well, I gotta say that.
You know what? This is the final now.
He made Twilight Batman.
You know what? I'm not going to scoff at him wanting to have that that actor. But when the actor did things like wouldn't work out and shit, that's when you fire him.
Yeah. If you come to work supposed to look like Bruce Wayne and you look like a damn crackhead that they just pulled out of a gutter, tear up the contract and throw him out.
One day they're gonna come up with the missing video, with the missing stuff on stage, where it's just like they're like, I want to go with it, and it's like, no, it's not gonna work. It's like, I want to go with it. I want to go with it. It's like, all right, Robert, you know what? Do it. And he's like, and like Jim's like, what's wrong with you, Bruce? I'm a heroin addict.
Oh, hey Teague, what's going on? Didn't see you there.
LDG, welcome.
Well, I gotta say that
welcome back.
That J.J. Abrams and all the ones that still have influence, it's all about deconstructing all the stuff that they deconstructed. Plus, for Alfred Pennyworth, since for what I learned in movies and the comics, that actually people that read the comics, Alfred Pennyworth is supposed to be the father figure that Bruce has after his parents died.
Yeah, he's a fat loser now.
More importantly, he's supposed to be either former MI6 or another similar group. Not a fat, out of shape.
This guy, you would never believe he had ever seen the outside of a fucking concert of a symphony hall. He's a fat fucking loser.
Well, I'll tell you this much: I would liken to what Jar Jar Abrams has done to the public as a Clockwork Orange, where Malcolm McDowell's forced to watch violence, ultra violence, with his eyes wide open and forced open, not to close, and he's got all the damn, drops put into his eyes. That's what I compare Jar Jar Abrams.
Metaphorically, in your opinion, right? Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Jim.
There's Jim.
Damn
it! So we got two
Jim.
admirals, Admiral Teague and Admiral Jim on deck. So who's?
Well, he's Fleet Admiral. He's Fleet Admiral Duke.
Let him do whatever he wants. Like, I don't own the word admiral.
Yeah, Teague's the rear admiral.
lower.
Oh, rear, all right.
Where's he gonna
rear, all right.
Hey.
No, because Teague, he's the rear admiral because he's got you back, way back there.
He's got you way.
There you go. Not too.
Hey, he's having fun with early Christian Chapel. Go on.
Oh,
what
the hell was that?
Dear Lord.
That's Mikey crying.
I want to know who made that noise. And I want to know
Like
why that mistake happened.
It's a
I
sound
gotta say, well then.
Well, it's Hari having a stroke.
Oh, effect of what? You strangling a mouse?
Well, I guess
Mikey's mouse.
It sounded like a mouse-sized chainsaw was being fired up, like in defense. Like the mouse was ready for it. It's like, come on, motherfucker!
Hey, it's all fun. Anyway.
Yeah, I gotta say, judging by Admiral Jim's avatar, Jim's always exhausted because he's always done doing paperwork.
I am doing paperwork right now. You got a problem with that?
Just like what real military officers do, they always have paperwork to do to authorize shit.
Look, Jim has the avatar of Picard closing his eyes because he's stunned by all the stupidity in this new world. So
you get that right.
Yep, there you go. It's an appropriate avatar. It works.
It's like poetry.
By the way, I did speak to Bird today a couple times actually.
Is he still alive and kicking?
He's still alive and ticking, and they got to do something tomorrow that hopefully will help him out a bit. And but I had to give him some help. He called me for some help on something, and he sounded pretty good. So they got the damn mask on his ass, so he's literally Darth Vader, like.
Oh, jeez.
Got the breathing
that's all
mask
that short
on.
of was.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing missing is a.
No, he has it. I don't know why it didn't come. I don't know how it didn't. You didn't hear it on the short, but
funny.
I didn't quite hear it. No, sorry, but that's weird. Okay. No, I hope he's all right. I mean, you know what? one thing I've learned, if there's one thing I learned since I started streaming last year from
another
Bird of
joke
Prey
out of it
5.
first?
I'm sorry, T. Did you want to say? Go ahead and say if you need to say something on that. No, I was just going to say.
No.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say that the one thing I learned about Bird of Prey 5 is he's a stubborn guy. He's gonna beat this. He's gonna fight whatever he's been fighting all this time. So, he's not gonna give up. That's the thing about him. At least I admire that about him, is his stubbornness. Yeah. So, I just wanted to mention that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hopefully he's out pretty soon.
Yeah.
Once they
we
figure
miss
out
him
what-
at Jet Nerdy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just hope that we don't lose him.
No, don't think that negatively. Come on, Dan. We've lost
Yeah,
way too many people already. We can't think that negatively.
He has years left.
He's got lots of years left. Come on. He'll live to be freaking 100, even if he has to be strapped to that chair until he's ready.
Let's just wish him good luck. It's fucking getting distasteful.
Yeah, really.
Okay. Sorry.
It's like trying to kill the guy off, right? Come on, really?
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Don't look at me. I think we all live forever. So it's...
Hey, I've been telling people just keep the prayers for him.
That's the best you can do. And
you have a certain amount. I think Trump was right. You get charged up when you're born, and you live until you're out of energy, and then you just die, like a cell phone.
That's why you have to become a level 6 laser lotus monk, and then you get the inner junk cubes, so you can live longer.
That's why I have to become pure energy.
I got my Ank.
That's it's from Community College. Well, that show Community.
Oh, Community.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, or better yet, just
never liked that show.
Or better yet, just upload yourself to the internet or to the World Wide Web, like the Lawnmower
yourself
Man
a bot.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, not winding up like Lawnmower Man.
The first movie I saw,
that's my fate.
Like 1991 was like your year for movies like that. We got like Free Jack and Lawnmower Man. It's like the same thing. It's like you did both guys like upload themselves into the internet.
Yeah, but at least
would be assumed.
got a paycheck.
Yeah, Free Jack. It wasn't exactly willing.
Yeah.
No. His wasn't willing, but the person who was uploaded into the internet, because the movie sucked and got held back for some reason. And then everybody had a big year. The Stones album hit, Silence of the Lambs was big, and Rene Russo was in Lethal Weapon. So they're like, we can release this movie. Emilio Estevez is having a big year too. And it's Free Jack isn't that good, but it's Anthony fucking Hopkins who he dies, and they upload his brain into like some kind of like, it's close enough, more or less the internet.
Something like that.
He was willing. Well, I mean, like he was gonna die, but that was a willing thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and the movie Transcendent did that with Johnny Depp too, and for what I hear, that movie was boring as hell.
Oh yeah, it's a horrible movie.
I'm sure it's well acted. Horrible
not exactly
movie.
the best movie.
Well, during that time, don't forget, you had a young Angelina Jolie and a bunch of people and hackers, and I thought that was still cool. Johnny Lee Miller was actually cool back then, but now it's like, what? Johnny Lee Miller, who the fuck is that? What happened to that guy? Come on.
Yeah, well, they actually made a sequel to Lawnmower Man, and that one actually sucked more than the original.
Oh, it sucked worse. I mean, because come on, at least with Lawnmower Man, you have James Bond, you have Pierce Brosnan,
actor,
and Jeff Fahey.
Yeah, it's a better actor. The guy they had as Lawnmower Man in the first one.
He hadn't been James Bond yet.
Neighbor.
Pie Lemon Pie. As far as Lawnmower Man goes, the thing about that was that's when you started to realize that Stephen King might be a fucking whacked out crackpot, because like you see this movie and you're like, the fuck was that? And it's like, maybe that lady would be a good Borg queen one day, but that movie was shit. And then like like I hear Stephen King on like the radio and he's like, for the first time, people have finally captured my vision. But the only movies that I can put like my seal of approval on are like Pet Sematary, Maximum Overdrive, the Creep Show movies, and the greatest achievement of my cinematic career, Lawnmower Man. And I'm like, wait a minute, I saw that movie and like it was.
That was
Go ahead.
probably
He
his
fought to get
highest
his-
paycheck.
He fought.
Maybe
He
that's what
fought
it
to get
is.
his name off of that movie. That
Yeah,
that
might
that
not be the one.
it has nothing to do with the Stephen King the book.
Yeah. For what I hear, that's Lawnmower Man in name only. It's just a
Oh, okay. You know what?
It's a-
Then you
Yeah,
know,
it's
that
it's
might
not.
have that might have
Stephen
been.
King actually did not want his name on that. Like, there's a story
then the-
behind that.
Yeah, but
the
didn't
Flex-
stop him from cashing his royalty check. Now did
Didn't,
it?
yeah, didn't stop him cashing it, but
He
it
doesn't
would.
have control of that.
It's not his story technically.
You know what? No one gives a fuck about Stephen King's story because that improvement that he was so upset about in the fucking Shining book, where like, here's the thing about Stephen King. We all go through our Stephen King phase. It's in fucking middle school. Okay. He's an okay writer. He's not bad. He's really prolific. Cocaine's great. I read a bunch of his fucking books. But at the same time, it's like Stephen King has to break the world to have a story now. He can't overcome cell phones that destroy every single story he had, and things that he's been a little bitch about, like that he didn't want. He didn't want the Indian burial ground aspect to the Shining. Pissed him off. It didn't stop him from appropriating that idea for his next movie or his next book. I mean, it's in Pet Sematary, and he should just shut the fuck up. That was an improvement. Like the
original Shining was like demons and stuff, right? Like
the Shining's not a very cinematic story. It's not a very cinematic story.
So wait, so you're telling me that if they would have remake, if they would remake The Shining, like actually Stephen King's version,
they did.
They did.
There's a version of it from I think USA Network. The guy from Wings did it. It's a fucking miniseries, so it's like 10 installments of like a 200-page book. So he can't complain. He was in charge. He got paid. It seems like it makes sense. And like the book's different. Like Scatman Crothers' character, I think, lives.
Tell me, Stephen King is a famous author, but what type of genre is he famous for writing? In other words, I have heard of his name, but I'm not familiar with what genre does he specialize in? Horror, sci-fi,
He's
or just
really
plain
good
old
at.
horror?
See, it's not really just plain old horror. He writes these like very relatable sort of. He pulls you right in. He's good at dialogue. He's good at pacing. He's good at sentence structures and stuff like that. He's good at like pulling you into the narrative. He knows how to set the stage and tell a story. But sometimes it's just the stories aren't worthy. Like there's no one editing Stephen King for a really long time. So all you can say is he touches on everything and he relates it to horror. He's got like a couple of sci-fi horror novels. I don't know where they went. He's got a couple of like medieval horror novels. He's got like that whole The Stand thing could be viewed as like Road Warrior future.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to relate a story. I wanted to relate a story about Stephen King that my wife Suzanne told me about when she was 9 years old. She saw him in bookstore, right? Bookstore, honey. Stephen King in a bookstore when you were 9 years old. Yeah, so she's there at 9 years old, and he's reading from one of his books. And hey, that's one of the few people she said scared the shit out of me, literally. Like, I mean, I know she was only 9, but I mean, to actually meet the man and be scared out of your wits. Oh shit! Damn it! Are you serious? Okay, I'm sorry.
Well,
try that
good reason for a little kid to be scared of
someone backing
Stephen
up.
King.
Fire alarm! Fire alarm!
I wouldn't trust Stephen King around anybody's children.
I don't know. I don't want to say that about it, but just say he's a fucking. You know what? It just shows what happens with Twitter. He was one of 2 people who got to keep their check mark when Elon took over, right? Stephen King and William Shatner. And Stephen King he has like some kind of complex where because he gets to tweet for free, because like Elon respects the level of whatever popularity he had. And Elon's a weird guy, but like he gets to tweet for free and keep that check mark without paying for it. It's gone to his head in some sense because he's given away so many words for free that no one has enjoyed reading. The words that he thinks that we should pay for, that he thinks we will enjoy reading, everyone's skeptical about it. Does anyone really feel the same or want to read his book? I don't.
I never
will say
read his books.
I'll say this.
They're
I never.
good,
I would say this. I never read any of his material. I have seen a few of his movies, though.
For the most part,
are always far superior.
Actually, that's what the movies are. They have to be fucking. If they're good, they have to be fundamentally different. He writes good books. He writes shitty movies. They're not ever meant to be movies. They shouldn't be movies. Some people make them into movies anyway. Philip K. Dick, on the other hand,
he writes good dialogue.
He does
Someone
write really
needs to
good
give him
dialogue.
the idea for the story. Someone needs to give him the entire plot beforehand for it to be good. When he comes up with on his own, you might as well get a brain damaged clown to come up with it.
It's Thinner's like a typical Stephen King story, right? It's like there's one element to the story. We know what it is kind of up front, and then we're just going to chase it through the whole story. Like it's like a revenge story.
Well, and you have to remind, when it comes to a thematic or media platform, you have to consider a few things. How much of the original work is the author willing to compromise it on, or to remake to make his own story in the book version better or worse? To just say fuck you, since you're making a movie of this, I just want the damn paycheck. It doesn't matter how I mess up the script or all that bullshit. Just give me my paycheck. Or he actually helps the screenwriter and director to do their movie and their book correctly, try to fit as much as the book in a 2 hour to 2.5 hour, maybe 3 hour long movie on a certain book he wants to do, or he just becomes a straight out sellout saying, here, just do whatever book you want, just give me my paycheck, do whatever you want with it, I don't care.
Yeah, I would say that he's not a total sellout because he won't go quietly. He will offer to work with anyone making a Stephen King movie. The problem is now you've got a book writer trying to write a movie, and he's going to try keep pushing for an unabridged version of his movie where all you'll be able to do is like, our movie's 4 hours long and it's only part one of your goddamn book. So you're not going to keep him happy. You're not going to keep him happy. You can't cut any of his dialogue because his dialogue really, like, that's his whole thing. So you kind of have to go through. You can't cut too many scenes, and then like for something like Pet Sematary, the story's a cliffhanger, and the only good thing you could say about that movie, because that movie's really mid, is there's a couple of good Ramones songs in it, and that we got the end. The ending that's not in the book is in the movie because he wrote the screenplay. Hello to Drew.
All of his works are sort of mid.
Hey, Drew. Tell me, was that the ending Stephen King actually wanted for his book in that movie?
I like Lev. I just like what Lemon had to say. Sorry.
Tell me, in that movie, did Stephen King write the ending he wanted, that he intended for his book, or did he just the
movie
the whole
needed something? Okay, so like an angry, scornful Stephen King can't get over The Shining, rewrites a book that's just like The Shining, uses everything from The Shining, changes it from a hotel to a house on the edge of a graveyard. Samey Sam. There is no hedge maze, but there is a maze in the the entire book, Pet Sematary, unless it was already written before The Shining movie, may in fact be Cope. It may in fact be Cope, or it was the source novel that was rated for other elements in The Shining, because like there's a maze in that book, but it's like it's in the woods. It's like a maze of tangled like brush, and there's an Indian burial ground in that book, like shit that's in The Shining, but not in The Shining book. But I think
that's pretty much his approach, Lemon.
Yeah. His screenplay was, I think they told him, like, your book was successful. You're not happy about The Shining. And then, like, when they were done with this movie, they're like, our movie's good, but it costs as much as a movie. It's 2 hours long, and it's only as good as a 44-minute episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. It, like, rose to the level of the actors, we guess. And they're just like, we need something, is my impression. He was told they needed something to sell that movie. Because it's tacked on, but it is what you would assume would happen because he was crazy and heading back to the Pet Sematary when the book ends, right?
Yeah, he's very willing to collaborate because it comes with an extra paycheck. That doesn't mean he actually cares about it. He'll throw any old schlock at it.
On that one and that one only?
Shit.
On that one and that one only?
Or it's if something goes bad. It's not that his book was a piece of shit to begin with.
They'll blame the director.
They misinterpreted it.
Well, here's
Yeah.
the thing. I think he had. I'm sorry. Just give me 1 second on this one. I'll close off the thought. I apologize, Sis Dan. You know what it is, Germ? I think that he spends a lot of the 80s. The Shining comes out in 81, and Maximum Overdrive, the first one he has total control of, is 86, right? There's no book for that one. The book's later. I think he spends that whole time. He's fucking angry. He's angry with himself. He's angry with Hollywood. He's doing a lot of coke. He's acting erratic. He's got a lot of income. And he just, he was more, he cared when he did Maximum Overdrive. He cared when he did those creep show movies. And he cared when he did Pet Sematary. Any other time, I agree with you. I think he cared about on those occasions, isolated different occasions. He was really pissed off, and a lot younger. He was really pissed off about The Shining for a long time.
Yeah, and I gotta say, another author that just saying do whatever you want with my work, and he'll give its blessing. Is I'll show the book right here, and the cam. Let's see here. Oh wait,
It's not showing up.
Yeah, I gotta fix the background, I think.
Who's the author?
Christopher Paolini. The author from the Inheritance Cycle books are Aragon, Inheritance, Eldest, and Bursting.
Go ahead and show the book again.
No, it's the background of the stuff. It's the Inheritance Cycle book series.
Oh, Aragon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've heard of
that movie.
Unfortunately, I saw that movie.
Yeah, that movie.
Hey, well, I'll give the writer credit though for that movie there. As soon as he seen the movie there, he told him they're not touching another one of his fucking books. Exact words.
Book sales ended.
Yeah, well, I will say that I was a fan of the Inheritance Cycle book series, which is the ones I just showed you. The movie was, well, after reading the book and learning that the book was far superior, yeah, that movie was god awful. I mean, besides the design of Saphira, that was a good dragon design, but beyond that, the movie was just bad.
Drew was really pissed off at Lawnmower Man. Yeah, I think everybody was.
Yeah, I was wrong about that one. I'm sorry. 34 years after Lawnmower Man, I glitched on that one. He was like crowing about how he was now in control more with most of his movies. And I think maybe he got something changed in Lawnmower Man to make it more like his book. It didn't go off exactly the way they wanted it to. And who knows what, I mean, I'm going to be honest. I don't know. I don't think much in that movie works. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And as far as that goes, I think King may be a little bit of a unreliable source, especially if it makes him look bad.
Well, Stanley Kubrick only has so much patience for any other collaboration. He walked away from Arthur C. Clarke too, because Arthur C. Clarke was taking too long to finish 2001: A Space Odyssey, so he did his own thing. It's like, fuck it, the book's only 2/3 done. Good luck. I'm gonna go make my movie. Delays in the movie meant they came out like at about the same time anyway, and he still, like, he walked away from that collaboration, but they were able to still collaborate anyway. You get what I'm saying? Like, he was like, fuck it, I'm going to make my movie. And then his process was just so slow anyway that Clark catches up to them. And there's a lot more in common with the book and movie than there is uncommon. But I mean, they go to a different planet in the book.
And I don't think anyone's vaping up here, Lemon Pie.
I am. I do not endorse it. It is not nicotine.
Gorilla.
I don't vape. Anybody who vapes looks like they got a dick in their mouth.
For convenience, I'll sometimes buy weed vape. I prefer to smoke pot openly, but I don't endorse that unless it's legal in your state. In which case, if you're an adult, I endorse that you do it rather than drink.
That's what I got. So
yeah, you know what? The Drew got you. You got me on that one, man. I think he did. I think that maybe that's what I'm remembering, because he was like, "Ain't nobody gonna be making movies, Stephen King movies anymore unless I'm in control." Maybe that's what he was saying about Lawnmower Man. Like, I had last word in it. I have THC vaporizer here. but I'm not like vaping away. It's not like nicotine. I quit nicotine like 4 years ago, and I quit smoking like 9 years ago. I did vape for like 4 or 5 years. It helped me get rid of my cigarette habit. I think I would be all fucked up, if not dead by now, if I hadn't quit smoking.
Yeah, I think just hearing somebody breathe a little bit.
Well, I'm muted when I'm not talking, so it ain't me.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I don't think it's bothering anybody.
I'm vaping, but like I'm not vaping on an ongoing way. I took like one vape hit this whole time. It does exist in my home. I think if I was to show you the rig though, like that would be bad for germs. So just have to take my word for it. I have like a little bit of a weed vapor in front of me. It's just convenient. I don't.
Yeah, something that's not legal in 28 states.
Yeah, but I live in one of the 22 where it is, right? So I'm not endorsing it. I'm not going overboard. Everything should be done responsibly. Don't drive while you're on it, and don't smoke it if you're in high school. What can I tell you?
Yeah, and there's a little term to Lemon Pie's comment saying, "I'm in the Phantom Zone." Yes, pray I don't come after you, Lemon Pie, after I escape the Phantom Zone. I'll take a nice bite out of you.
I like how you rolled the punch federally. No, it's not legal. Well, you know what? I'd be honest, but what does that mean in a state where it's legal? Like, I would have to go find a national park to not smoke it at? Because in New York state parks, marijuana is legal and alcohol isn't, and I believe it's the other way around at federal parks. And by the way, I'm canceling my vacation to Yellowstone. Thank you for that information.
He has ESP for vices.
I don't want to go to Yellowstone and not be kind of high when I see a fucking bear walking around.
Hey, you gotta be high for when the volcano goes up.
Well,
that's going to be a world ender. That's a world ender.
Well, actually, for Yellowstone too, if he wants to be high, just sit on a geyser site and wait till the hot water explodes, and he'll be flying with his ass burning.
I've got myself covered. I don't need insurance. I live right near where all the missiles are coming anyway. I'm inside the impact area. I'm ground zero of the next nuclear war. I don't need to make arrangements. I'll be seeing you guys again as Fallout. Remember me when you scrape off the window of your car. It's people.
Hey, just when your shadow is immortalized on a wall there, make sure you're in a cool pose. Like that one guy in Japan.
Yeah, he's whipping his fucking ass.
Are you kidding? He's Zod, but with a non-personality.
Gee, thanks, Mikey. Then what does that make you then?
Hey, I'm a closet Ursula. Come on, shit.
Oh, so then
I loved watching Sarah Douglas kick ass, especially kicking Superman.
So basically, you'll be my Kryptonian girlfriend / wife then, huh?
Well,
no, you're a
beautiful woman, so hey, I'm set for life. I don't have to worry about that. But I did admire Sarah Douglas kicking Christopher Reeve's butt. So hey, there's
Mikey,
that.
I'm just being very sarcastic, being very funny because
I'm being sarcastic too. So.
Zod and his second in command were a couple. That's why.
Did anyone here see insane movie Beastmaster 2 Through the Portal of Time?
No.
Bad super good.
Thanks a lot, Lemon.
Hey, Kari Wurr's in it. Come on, but evil superwoman from that movie is kind of like she's like some kind of witch who's like the key to the whole thing. She's like, oh yeah, go down there, go to the portal of time, and she's like, what do you mean? She's like, you'll know, dude, and like it's like that's some weird fantasy language, and then he goes to the portal of time, and the Beastmaster just walks around like 1989 or whatever it might be.
Hey, Teague, I gotta ask you, what'd you think of Bridget Nielsen when she played Red Sonja?
Never been my type. Wasn't that great of a movie.
She lived about half a mile from where I live now.
Really?
Wow! And I live like 2 miles from Flavor Flav. We should get married.
And Sven Ole Thorsen, who he's a friend with Schwarzenegger, and he is also in a lot of Schwarzenegger's movies. He lived about little under a mile from where I live now, where I used to live, actually.
Well,
Alex
you know
There you go,
lives
what?
2 miles away.
How fun. Yeah. No, I was going to say Snail. Here's what I compared it to. When I first saw Conan the Barbarian, and then Arnold, and then you see Bridget playing Red Sonja, and I thought of it for a moment. And I said, "Oh, you know what they did? They made the same comparisons with Lucy Lawless playing Xena and Kevin Sorbo playing Hercules. They just put them on TV. So if you think about it, Schwarzenegger and Nielsen was basically the
We
harbinger
don't talk about
TV
Alex
series
Kurtzman
of Xena
shows.
and Hercules. Yeah.
We don't like to talk about shows that Alex Kurtzman worked on here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What
Hercules
shows
is
did he
fine.
work on?
Xena's
He didn't work on
silly.
Cena or Hercules. Did
He
he?
was actually one of their. He was a director.
Really?
Xena. Yep.
Then he should
That's where it
know
got
what
started.
quality
He wasn't a
TV is.
regular. He wasn't a
He was-
regular director. He was a. Hey, you got a day to fill in. We need some guy to direct this schlock episode.
And he had no here's the deal. He had no standards, the worst episodes, and he would just do it. From what I understand, it was this. That one was filmed in New Zealand because Lucy Lawless was like, no, I'm not going to move to Hollywood for that kind of money. He's like, all right, fine, I'll do it by remote control. I don't care that much anyway. And only Alex Kurtzman was willing to stay there. And the reason why there are so many producers and so many people in and out and so many directors is that, like, people just couldn't deal with living in New Zealand. People couldn't deal with being down there. And people could not deal with hanging out with Alex Kurtzman.
I don't blame them. New Zealand is not a lovely place.
I don't know. It was like, it might be fine if you're from New Zealand. You probably love New Zealand, right? But like Carla likes it. But like if you're from LA and we send you to New Zealand, you might end up freaking out unless you're a loser like Alex Kurtzman.
I just, Teague, I just look past the unfortunate Alex and just go with the Raimis because I like Ted, I like Sam. I mean, even their dad worked on things. So the Raimis do have a place in my heart. I liked a lot of their collaborations and their horror stuff too. It's good stuff.
Didn't Lucy Lawless marry one of them guys?
She married one of their guys. She didn't marry one of them. She married one of their guys. She married she married Raimi's cinematographer or something close to that. She's married to one of the cinematographers from the Raimi verse, and she's in like every Spider-Man movie or every Raimi Spider.
Yeah, she was that goth-like girl in the first Spider-Man with Maguire, where she says, "I think he's hot." I knew it was Lucy Lawless, so I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense." She exists in that universe. Why not?
Yeah,
and you have some guy in a subway street corner, some homeless guy who's playing a guitar and playing the actual, Spider-Man theme from the 1950s and 60s and 70s even. So there's that.
Thank you for recounting that.
Well, that guy's actually relatively famous. Wasn't that the naked cowboy in that one?
Well, I don't think he was naked cowboy. He was a guy that was in a subway and he was playing the Spider-Man theme on his guitar.
It was basically supposed to be the naked cowboy, but I don't think it's actually him. The guy looks like the naked cowboy, though. Maybe they just had him put on some clothes. Maybe he is inspired. That's worth IMDbing because the naked cowboy did do a couple of things. I don't get why being the naked cowboy out in Times Square is somehow more lucrative than a real job, but he pulls it off.
Well, I know he was in the video that Nickelback did, Rockstar, that famous one that over a billion people have seen already now on YouTube. So he was in that.
Over a billion people have probably seen the naked cowboy because of the amount of pictures he takes in Times Square.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you would know more there. I don't. Yeah, well, I'm saying that Teague is more into the that Manhattan scene and he would know more about that naked cowboy guy with just topless and just wearing a cowboy hat. And
We're
playing guitar.
doing a callback. We're doing a callback to a 22-year-old movie. However, or 24-year-old movie, but however, I do own it. And I'm trying to think, to the best of my recollection, I think that's actually the singer of fucking Nickelback.
All right,
Yeah.
and just to say goodnight to Snail, the Messiah, he had to go to get some sleep. And he just left the panel. Good night, Snail.
Have a good night,
morning.
Oh, yeah,
Snail.
good night, Snail. Be safe. Yeah, good, healthy fun. Very early, late. Okay, yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by, Snail.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I remember Snail Messiah from a few of the past chats, and he's very well learned, just like Teak here, and all of us. So, yeah, good thing. I'm enjoying Neapolitan ice cream. I'm indulging, at least for one time.
Naughty, Mikey.
You only get to do things once, especially for us. People have to avoid sugar. This is a good luxury for once.
So. I'm playing with you, Mikey. You know that.
I know. It's all good, man. You're always playing with me, Mo. Remember, I'm Curly Joe and you're Mo. Hey, that's what works.
Mikey,
that's what stooges do.
Yeah, Mikey, it's called playful teasing and jabbing if you're able to take it, and you're able to take it.
I'm able to take it. I have no worries about it.
So, Gorilla, to not put pressure on you, but your stream is in less than a half hour. Do you want are you going to stay on for a few more minutes, or do you want to head out and try to set up your stream better?
I'll let you know when I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Gorilla's multi-talented. He's like Germ. He's multi-talented. He knows when he's ready to go and hook up stuff.
What are you watching tonight, Gorilla?
Naked Gun.
Naked Gun.
Holy crap.
From the Files of Police Squad.
Hey, DJ Play Nice.
Hey, DJ Play Nice. Rock. Yeah, Rock. Definitely.
And Lemon Pie, if I didn't say hello. I heard New Zealand is full of hippies. Peter Jackson works there, but I think he's Australian. He's a bit of a hippie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Or just a soap-dodging haircut hater.
Crispy.
Hey, you know what I heard?
Cream and wine.
Oh, boy. Oh, my.
Oh, my.
You're going to regret that in the morning, Lemon.
I think so, Lemon. It's what we call acidity. But, hey, that's a new concept, right?
Well, and you have to remind him he is a lemon, so he can take it anyway. He
can grow to tremendous sizes. He's told me so in the past. Hint, hint, Lemon. But hey, you know, that makes you more squeezable to women. So, you know, even Suzanne and I both laugh at that. So it's, you know, it's a funny thing. But Lemon is a good man. So, hey.
What Scoutmaster Peterson used to say.
What do you say, LDG?
He can grow to tremendous sizes. That's what my Scoutmaster used to say.
Well, that's between your Scoutmaster and the correction department of the state of Florida.
So, LDG Scoutmaster who's still not allowed to use a computer.
Lucky guess, I guess, Lemon. Oh, Lemon Pie,
well,
you're such
Lemon,
a great guy.
You don't know it, but the camera on your computer is two-way. We can all see you.
Yeah, and Lemon Pie, come on. Don't be a sourpuss, okay?
Really? I thought the private chats were just a luxury.
Private chats were all you bitch about.
Well, you know, Tony makes the private backstage his own bar. I'm surprised we don't have stools to sit on and actually enjoy some beverages, some liqueurs, and some shit. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Rough.
Jeremy, you need a better green. You need better service in the green room. I wanted a latte and a fresca. I couldn't get it.
Hey, there's a vending machine. If it's not in the vending machine, you're on
Like,
your own.
one of my quarters is Canadian, and no one here will give me change. It's not my fucking fault.
Hey, actually, all U.S. stores are to accept Canadian change. Once you get up to the dollar bills and stuff, it's different. But if it's a change, they just look the other way on it because the currencies were so close.
Now, yeah.
Most of the time,
But a
most of the
machine
time.
can't.
Yeah, machine
Hey,
Vending
can't.
machine can't consolidate the. Okay, Canadian quarter, American quarter. Oh, this thing is an American quarter. Spits back out.
When is the next time we're gonna actually make quote unquote an American quarter? You know, it's been since 1999 since the quarter was a federal coin. It's been every fucking stupid thing. We went from states. Okay, that was understandable. Then in like 2021, every single national park. Now we're going through like historical figures. It's going to be like it's every single goddamn thing. Like if we wait long enough, if I live to be 80, there'll be an Admiral Teague memorial coin. It'll just be like Admiral Teague. He had a mechanical arm. He had a show on YouTube. Blah blah blah. He was a crazy guy. And I'll be on a quarter. It's like the bar is pretty low.
Will Teague, if inflation keeps going the way we are, we'll soon have a $5 coin, $20 coin, $10 coin, just out of pure coin, since money's gonna be sold that damn worthless.
Well,
no, they won't. They won't make them out of coins. They'll make it out of paper.
I don't know about that. You know what, Gorilla? To be honest with you, when I was like getting ready to leave Europe, I'm like, well, this sucks. I'm broke, right? And all I have is all this change, and it turned out I had like 170 euros. It's like which at that point was like $320. The $3 and $5 coins, or $3 and €5 coins, €10 coins, they existed. It was stressful though. No one wants a $10 quarter, or no.
Yeah, but if the inflation gets so bad, the metal it'll cost them more in metal than what it's worth to stamp it.
No, there's cheaper metal. It's a sandwich of copper anyway for a real long time.
You know, and the thing about exchange too is, because I watched some of these currency exchanges places, we actually have a big one when you walk in to one of the malls that Suzanne and I frequent once or twice a month, and I've sometimes seen long lines of people in there, and I can only imagine like some of the foreigners that come from, say, like Mexico. Of course, they have to exchange their pesos, and the Italians with their lira, and the what do they call it? The Japanese and some of the Asians with their yen. You know, that must be a nightmare. I can only imagine if you're a currency exchange representative and you have to stand there and literally know, you know, when the exchange is between the Canadian dollar and a peso, and you have to know exactly that very day as soon as you walk into the office.
It's on the wall.
Yeah, well, it's on the wall, but I mean, you also have to be educated.
Wait, hold on, wait.
It's computer controlled.
It's on the wall. Yeah, it's on the wall, changing in real time. I made more money off my exchange than my friend, who was two people in front of me.
Wow, that's cool.
It wasn't significant, but I mean, the rate went up like a 0.5%.
Yeah, all in real time, right? Yeah. I just remember it was harder back then.
Yeah. Like when I went to Australia, I cashed in I changed over a couple $100 is I believe 123 when I went there. And then when I go on the way back to change it back, it's like 121.
Yeah, you got less, right?
And meanwhile, everybody in Vietnam is a billionaire because it's like 200 million for a Coca-Cola.
It is. That in Korea, right?
It might be time. All I want to say is it might be time for currency reform.
I think it is.
That would help. Yes.
Them.
I don't know. Especially the ugly currency. But when I was in Australia, It's not exactly paper, but when you
It's
get
like a
to
plasticky,
half
yeah.
of it, it's like a thin plastic that you can see through.
It's an anti-counterfeiting.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. We
it's
have
horrible.
that weird
If you
thread.
put it in your wallet, the damn plastic part is gonna rip.
Yeah, it wants to.
Yeah, then
it
you're
wants to
screwed
be-
if you
it
can't
wants,
spend it.
Yeah.
It wants to self-destruct.
Well, I gotta say that. Well, a lot of the countries are printing money to actually make the lifestyle seem like it's doing great. Meanwhile, it's not. They should just burn a lot of currency, but then that has its own sorts of problems, though.
Yeah. Hell, we've been doing that in the United States for 50 years.
I got a microcosm of America's economic situation every time I go to the laundromat. It's $4.75 to wash my clothes, and I have to change $5 over into quarters to do it. And like, God damn it, if there was a year we were broke, that's what the quarters are from. There's like, you'll still find a few 1967s. That must have been the most broke ass year ever. 66 must have been the most broke ass year ever. 1982s, 1983s, 1984s, Ronald Reagan's first term. People don't remember it. It was a fucking economic disaster. It's the second term where things were better. 1991s, left and right, George Bush, fucking total disaster through his entire term. The first George Bush. Bill Clinton, very little money between 1994 and 1996 is the only year with a lot of currency. Then it's like George W. Bush is president before you see tons of currency from those years again.
Yeah, and they do that to keep the economy afloat too. That's sad.
Because they're supposed to destroy the currency. Technically speaking, there should not be any coins or cash floating around from the 90s.
To which there is.
I got
still.
a 1967 fucking quarter. I was not about to put it in the laundry machine. Now I just like cashed in another. That's the problem about the laundromat is like every time now I look for the quarters with the eagles on the back, and I'm like, and I'm like, holy shit, 1967. This quarter is fucking, like really like, if I use it, it'll get recalled. Actually, it's probably been at that laundromat since 1968, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, I would say this from past histories I've seen of prices. Man, the inflation's kicking our ass in the economy. Like, well, if I have to use fast food, I do eat fast food once in a while.
Yeah, go ahead.
Teague, that quarter is made out of silver.
No, it's not. Look at it from the side. There's copper in the middle. Or zinc.
No.
The 67?
Yes.
I don't think any of the silver ones are left. I'll have to look at it again. I thought that 1962 was the last silvers.
And there
I thought it was late 60s. I thought late 60s.
You might be right.
And there was something, Teague. You can actually pawn them off at an exchange. You can also do it for banks, and they can give you the equivalent and so on. But it depends on where you want to go to, to sell them. But I would keep them and sell them, especially anything from the 60s. Any.
Let's face it. One day I'm just going to be broke.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's face it. One day I'm going to be broke, and I'm just going to use them at the laundromat again.
So as I was trying to say in the fast food example. Back in the 50s or 60s, fast food places were about either a quarter for a meal. Now it's like 100 times that price.
Right, but you have to look at the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Google this thing. Bureau of Labor Statistics cost of living calculator, and it gives you the buying power of money. So, like, for instance, my grandfather gave me his car when I was 18, right? He had it for 18 years. It was like, whatever. It was pretty old car. But the thing is, I found the sticker price in the back. He got his car for like $1,500 cash. It was a good car. It worked fine 20 years later. Like a Dodge Demon.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that the printing money and the inflation rate has gone way out of control, but we don't notice it hardly at all.
We notice it, but I would say this:
we definitely notice it.
prices are now highly unstable. There seems to be a correction down going on. And I would also say this: traditional economic indicators are now to be ignored. The stock market has been doing just fine for the entire 21st century for the most part. It's that the rest of us that are not doing well. I don't know whether it's because neither party will cooperate or because like the government is just dysfunctional, but we're just
It's the
for
printing of
whatever
money.
reason.
Well,
The
here's
dollar you have will buy less because there are more of those dollars in circulation.
But I
Oh,
don't have
yeah.
to print money. Wait, hold on. I don't have to print money to create money, Germ. Think about this one. What if
okay.
Gorilla?
So
Wait, Mikey speaking.
I'm sorry.
Gotta work.
Sorry.
You gotta work on that one, bro. It's like it's
I know.
every time. Yeah. What were we talking about, Germ? Help me.
Money.
Yeah. I don't have to have money. I don't have to have money to create money, though. Think about how much money there is out there that doesn't exist at all, and that would be if Gorilla goes out with his fucking credit card and buys a fucking car he can't afford and defaults on it. That money exists, but doesn't exist, and is not real and not. It's Schrodinger's money.
Yeah, and here's another thing too. I think the reason why we have the petrodollar and all this other stuff, we try to pine off our extra printing money to other countries to have them have that as a foreign exchange
Reserve
currency for us. Yeah.
You realize
And
the dollar is
we're
the
the world's
official
reserve.
currency of like. You realize the dollar is the official currency of like 30 other countries too. Not Guam
Yes.
either. Like Ecuador just uses the dollar. They're like, yeah, we're not going to bother trying to. We can't figure it out. No, our money will be worth shit. We're just going to use the dollar. I think it's
Yeah.
Ecuador.
What do you say, Gorilla?
Go ahead,
I was
Gorilla.
gonna say we're the world's reserve currency.
Yeah. For
We
now.
are.
So
That's
Well,
rapidly changing.
Well, Germ is right. What happened was the center of all stock markets was London, and then World War One happened, right? So it's like the London exchange was the exchange of record. World War One breaks out. The Germans blockade the British. They still have like a telegraph line, but it's erratic and not trustworthy. They are able to trade within Europe. The only thing they were able to do was make trades with us for cash to fight the war and cut the Germans off from making it. And that kind of shapes some of the world right there. But our alliance just went with the French and Germans. The French and English got in so much debt to us that we couldn't let them lose that fucking war. We didn't really care about either one of those wars.
Okay.
The one where we got attacked, we only would have fought Japan if it hadn't been for the way the Germans were acting.
Yeah. All right, Teague, I just
well, the
wanna
Germans
mention-
declared war on us.
Yeah.
That's right. That is right. But the thing is, we would have within a year gone to war with Germany on our own terms because the president desired it. We were fighting without declaring war in the Atlantic against the Germans from like 1941 on.
Yeah, Teague, I just wanted to quote one statistic. I did look up at what is the cost of living currently in 2024. And according to what it says, the cost of living adjustment, which is the COLA for short, is 3.2%. And it's based on an increase in the consumer price index, it says, CPIW,
Yeah, I know what it is.
2022 through the third
We know
quarter.
what COLA is, Mikey.
We know what it is.
Okay.
Thank you.
We went
Okay, I just wanted to
to
verify.
6th grade.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to verify that.
And-
Also, the lowest cost of living is still in Mississippi, so 84.8%.
None of that means
and that COLA
anything.
number is full of shit.
Well,
Okay.
2.3% is probably closer to 9 or 10.
6. Yeah. Yeah. Here's the thing. We won't know till it's over and how things are going to work out politically in the long run. But basically, there's a lot of people relitigating this fiat currency thing. And what's great about it is you can go really far politically debating the idea that all currency should be based on metal. And like people can understand that. But because the rest of the world operates on macroeconomics is nothing like microeconomics. And our nation is actually, this is going to sound fucked up, but the economic thinking of both parties has always been, we should borrow the money first, spend it, and then decide to pay it back a year later, because money will be worth less in a year. That'll nullify the interest. And by spending money that we don't have before we have it, we don't risk any money because we can just not pay it back. And if we do pay it back, if we pay it back on time, our rate goes down every year. And that worked from like the end of the Vietnam War until the end of Clinton. George W. Bush was the one who started having currency problems, or it happened during his presidency.
Yeah,
'cause
and,
it is that
From
tipping point
Republicans.
of there's too much interest payments on the debt.
The fact
Because
that I have a
in
credit card,
1999, the interest rate that they started paying on the national debt took I think it is like 2 or 3% jump.
well, here's the problem. We're paying for 1984 right now. Those were 40-year loans. The debt service starts now. I hope you enjoyed the 80s. I did.
I
and,
wasn't even
I was-
swimming in my dad's ball sack yet.
Yeah,
I was
well,
only
you know
around for
what?
half of them.
I got to smoke cigarettes, drive cars, get laid, and act irresponsibly on money that you're going to have to pay off.
Two men
Joke's
help
on
the
you,
streets know this.
suckers. Joke's on
Germ,
you, suckers. I used to be able to quit my job and have a new one the same day.
Germ, can you put up my latest comment on this conversation we're all having, or some of us are having?
Oh, we have. Yep.
You go
Era
now.
of multiple
We'll
currencies.
see you guys.
What's the dollar? Okay.
All right, we'll see you there.
Take care, Gorilla. Euro,
night, Gorilla.
yen, yuan,
Later,
and
Gorilla.
ruble. Yeah, they're getting more and
Had to
more.
switch the A and the U. It's the yuan. You just had to switch
Here's-
the U and the A. Just a moment. No big deal.
Whatever.
I like
I'm
the-
going off memory.
I like the Korean currency. It's called the dong. I'm sorry, the Vietnamese currency. I apologize. The dong. And by the way, I'd like to take a moment just to thank the government of Vietnam for the lovely statue you made of my dad in memory of my dad's unit. Wow, was that something? It looks like the painting George Zip made in Airplane. You guys are angry.
And Lemon, the ruble, despite what they want you to believe, is nowhere near dead.
No.
It is
How do you think
the
you're funding
third
the war
most
against
valuable
Ukraine?
currency. Is the third most valuable currency on the planet right now.
Yeah, Lemon, how do you think they're able to continue their war against Ukraine? The ruble's not dead.
The ruble is fucking zombie, though. It is a leftover corpse of like 2 regimes back when it had any power. And have fun with that stuff.
It has major power outside of Western Europe and the United States.
It's coming back. But
If you
like,
if you
they
compare it to
had
like
major
Indian,
cash problems.
yeah, if you compare the exchange rate for like the Indian currency,
Oh yeah, I believe that.
it's killing the Indian currency right now.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna build a submarine, close the hatch before you submerge, and your currency won't have to tank out like your submarine.
Well, I want to say this: we're entering a major multiple currencies. I would say the major players are going to be the dollar still, then the euro, then the yuan, and then the ruble for the 4 major currencies of the world. Probably the 4 major ones.
Well,
to a point, but the CCP does limit international use of the yuan.
They also have 2 different types of currency. I think if you and I go
Yeah.
there, we get like a special color coded currency. And we pay like tourist prices. Like they're fucked up. And if they're
Yeah.
regular people
They have-
use the tourist money, they go to jail. And if we use their regular money, we go to jail.
Yeah, they essentially have a dual currency system. It's both called the yuan, but there's one for in-nation use and one for export.
Yeah, they're fucked up.
Well, I gotta say the reason why I said the yuan is China has over 1 billion people, and they use their own currency a hell of a lot more than we do here in the U.S. But they print a lot more money than we do too, in their own country.
But as I said, they have what essentially pans out to a dual currency system, which essentially makes it without value internationally.
Right. But if you handle your currency correctly, it doesn't have to be based on metals. This is, of all people, the Yahtzees figured this one out because there was so much bad. I guess it was stagflation. I don't know what to call it, but there was like several worldwide economic disasters that coalesced at the same time as several worldwide, like Dust Bowl type incidents, like ecological problems. Like there was no food to be bought for any money. And there was no money anyway, so that's no big deal. And basically, like the whole system collapses. But what's weird is about 1920 is when the stock market of record goes from London to New York.
Yeah.
So we've had it for 100
Then
years.
9 years later, well, the collapse was really...
That was because of like lack of laws. No one sat down and perceived of the idea. Go ahead.
They saw what was happening with the Dust Bowl, and then some bad players decided to take advantage of the situation.
There definitely was that.
Like
I think
the Kennedys,
was several
for one.
Well,
the Kennedys' father, unlike most people, he became fabulously wealthy because of the Great Depression, because he's one of the men that helped caused it.
What happened was, what was going on was there was basically, we think the Kennedys were into fucking moonshine, right, or whatever, into prohibition, and they also they were in on a couple of things. But what Joseph Kennedy was doing, it was fucked up that it was legal, and he was kind of walking around saying, "Look how fucked up it is that I got rich like this, speculating in this way." And like FDR was just like, if I put you in charge of the economy, will you stop doing that and destroying the entire economy? It's like, you got yourself a deal.
You know what I find ironic?
Blackmailed his way into it.
Yeah.
Green mail might be a better way, right? Because he sort of was like, he was tanking out. He didn't have control of the economy per se, but like guys like him, he knew exactly how the game was played to either unrig it or rig it the way FDR, like green mail is a better way to put it, right? Like he was like, I have lots of money, like I can make it rain for everybody. Like it wasn't really like he wasn't like give me money or else. He was just like, it's like I'll make it rain for everybody if you do this thing for me because I'm more about stature than I am about cash now that I'm super rich.
Yeah, and
he had all the money he could possibly want. He just wanted to be part of the upper crust.
He wanted to be president.
Yeah, and Resolute Germ, can you show my latest comment, please, to Admiral Teague to see if this is true? This is what I hear from certain documentaries. Too, like
that sounds that's probably about right. I think the
gold standard in the 30s. I know we were still on the gold standard through the Second World War.
But the gold
standard you're talking about the first collection of income tax, because the income tax law passes in 28, but I don't think they can collect it for a while.
Well, from what I hear from the documentaries,
they start collecting it, I believe, 31.
Yeah, well, my point is that from what I hear from documentaries, most of all, it got us off the gold currency to print and to start making our own money to give the companies more of a breathing room for exchange rates to do their business, from what I hear in the 1930s and 40s.
We weren't very smart, and we weren't very cautious with our money, and we just had so much westward expansion to go and develop for the longest time that it didn't matter how many mistakes we made. When we start running into economic trouble is when we run out of frontier. So then we start running around the world, kind of like king making people,
places.
and we should, because we're the United States, and all those places are much better off for listening to us.
Of course.
Well, it's true, Mikey. Even up there in Canada, you're much better as a English vassal than anything else.
A vassal? That's better than, I guess, a confederation or a protectorate of the UK, I guess.
He's a transplant.
Either way, it's English property.
I'm a trans-maple tree, not a transplant.
Yeah, well, Mikey, you guys up there are America Junior.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah,
it's all.
You take care of your little brother.
Laughed at you.
How does it feel to live in the Austria of North America?
The Austria of North America. That's cute. Wow. Boy, you guys
And-
really hate us down there, don't you?
Austria has the has a higher standard of living than you or us. How is that hateful?
Oh, you're right. Okay, I stand corrected.
Yeah, and Resolute Germ, just not for pressure on you, but if you're gonna join that Grizz live stream, are you gonna start wrapping it up, or are you guys gonna do separate streams right now? Because Gorilla's doing his live stream.
Gorilla does start now. Yeah, we should start wrapping it up.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and do whatever you want to shout out. Let's start with Jim.
Go, Jim.
Oh, we're just doing Commodore projections on hold right now because I'm mowing lawns like crazy, working all the time, just like Danny Boy said. But I just released a video today. I got green freckles over me, so you can check that out. Other than that, stay tuned to Commodore Productions. You never know what you're going to see. And soon we'll get back to the fan films and get it down. That's about it. And thanks for the invite.
Yeah, glad to have you here.
Yep.
T, go ahead. T.
Hey, T.
Yeah, I was waiting for the alarm to stop going off before I pitched. Sorry, and I also was muted. Listen, guys, I'm Admiral Teague. I think most of you know who I am. Last 30 hours, I did like 17 of them fucking editing, and then I slept for like 10, and I'm still out of it. But check out my upload. It's a review of J.J. Abrams' Batman Cape Crusader and my first ever video essay. So you'll like it. If you like Disparu and that kind of shit, give it a shot. See if you like it. Did my best.
Okay. LDG, you want to shout out to the underground? You there, LDG?
Yo,
Yeah, just
hey,
hashtag-
freethenet.org/underground.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thanks for hanging, guys. Always a pleasure, Rezo.
Thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
Mikey. Yeah.
Okay, so as everyone knows, a week from tonight, we moved it up 1 hour to accommodate everybody. Hopefully, our night owls, as I am. But we moved it up to 11 p.m. next week for the Deadpool and Wolverine review. And we've been having some financial setbacks, so I can only accommodate 6 people for now. But next month, everything should be a lot better. So just letting you guys know in advance that I can do it up to 6. And but we'll be talking about the best R-rated film ever, according to many critics and people. So, and then of course, don't forget we have our first 2 episodes I'll be reviewing on a webcam for Red Dwarf. It's the first time I've ever dealt with the BBC sci-fi comedy
Red
series.
Dwarf is nice.
Looking forward to it. I love it. I love Red Dwarf.
Oh yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Okay, that's good, Mikey. To Stan.
All right. Hello to all your viewers and chatters and panelists that don't know me or know me already. Sci-Fi Sit Down. I usually cover different sci-fi TV shows or movies. I do universe crossover ideas on my channel, among other things. Just type in my the subtitle that's underneath my avatar. It's the same as my YouTube channel. Type that in, and my YouTube channel should come up. And I am on other people's live streams like Resolute Germ and Gorillas to do cross streams. I will not be showing up on Gorillas tonight since if you guys overdo it, I'll go past my bedtime. And I do my Transformers Prime shows on Fridays on 8 p.m. Pacific time. That may change if Gorilla changes his Walton schedule again. But we'll see. And I do my weekend live streams on Saturdays, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific time, usually. And I try to upload a new YouTube video every Monday morning or Monday night or Sunday night to keep the algorithm going on my channel. I haven't been able to do that until recently. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I'll stop blabbering because I know Resolute Germ is already late to go to Gorilla's live stream watch party.
Okay. Thanks for everything, guys. Thanks for being here. We'll be back Saturday for Saturday morning cartoons. The poll's still up for that. you still have a chance to rescue The Legend of Zelda from Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century. I don't know how, but it is.
Boom.
Legend of Zelda is losing by 6 votes.
Well, I can make sure I put Zelda in there as my choice because
Yeah.
the Sherlock Holmes thing is total crap. But it will only give you an extra vote there, Germ. It'll still be a 5-point deficit there.
Yeah. So we'll have Saturday morning cartoons. We'll be back next Tuesday with an episode of Andromeda. And next Thursday, we'll have another roundtable. And hopefully I'll have a couple of the recorded stuff come out this week. And thanks for everyone who watched the short. 475 already. I think that's the best I've ever done in one day for one of those shorts. And everyone head over to Gorilla's stream. Link is in the chat right now. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Later.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.